Hi, my name is Kelly and I'm coming to you on behalf of Collective Recovery. This has been a really difficult video series this week because what we're talking about is grieving. There's a lot of uncomfortable emotions that come up with grief, and grieving can really trigger people in so many different ways, trigger uncomfortable emotions. Now, in this video series, we're specifically talking about grieving the loss of a loved one. If we are, have someone in our experience that passes away, and especially if it's a tragic passing, like a suicide or an overdose or something like that, it can really be difficult to navigate through that, right? I know for me, when I first entered recovery, it was very difficult. The first death that I experienced, actually was my grandmother. And since then, I've had several people in recovery that I've loved and cared for actually pass away, either from suicide or from overdose of some sort. So, grieving in recovery is very, very difficult because, you might be used to like numbing out, right? After a period of like being drunk or high, you all of a sudden are sober, and you have to be willing to deal with these uncomfortable emotions. So it can be very, very difficult. In the last two videos, we talked about the different stages of grief. I'm not going to get too deep into those. I will want to move into something that you can do today that will help you successfully navigate through the grief process. But the 5 stages of grief, according to Elizabeth Kubler-Ross in her book on death and dying in 1969, is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And we spoke a little bit about each one of those in the last 2 videos, but for today's purposes, something I want to offer you in order to successfully navigate through the grieving process. And again, no 2 people are the same when they are grieving, right? We talked about that in the last 2 videos, really just the importance of acknowledging that you are in the grief process and accepting that your grief is going to look different than someone else's grief. But what you can do to successfully navigate through grief is really just take care of yourself, right? Take care of your physical well-being. Now, this seems sort of silly to say or mention. It seems like a no-brainer, but it's not. It's really, really not. When we're not taking care of our physical well-being, our emotional state is very difficult to navigate through. And when we're grieving and we have all these uncomfortable emotions come up, it can be really, really difficult to navigate through those. I mean, that could send someone into a potential relapse, right? So if you are taking care of your physical well-being, you're making sure that you are resting appropriately or adequately, not appropriately, you're resting adequately, you are feeding yourself, you are, even doing basic self-care things like showering and brushing your teeth. I know it seems really silly to even mention that, but I know for me, when I was in early recovery, those things were really difficult for me to master. Because I spent so many years not taking care of myself, right? And so when you take care of your physical well-being, that is really going to help you deal with uncomfortable emotions that will arise due to grief. If we're not taking care of ourselves, then those emotions can get the better of us. But when we're getting adequate rest, we are actually making sure we take some time to exercise, eat good foods, those types of things. It really does help you feel a little bit more stable when the uncomfortable emotions of grief arise. So we will be sharing one more suggestion in the next video, and so please join us then. But if you liked this video or you found value in this video, please hit the like button, hit the heart here. We would love to connect with you. Drop us a comment. Let us know what this video, how it affected you, what you liked about this video. Also, if you or a loved one is struggling with addiction or substance abuse, please give us a call at 1-866-UTAH-HOPE. We would be so happy to try to get you into treatment or try to get you the help that you need. We actually have a amazing outpatient treatment program and a sober living facility for both men and women that we would love to talk to you about if you qualify, or talk about your current benefits. We give what's called a free benefits review. So if that is something that you are interested in learning more about, please message us here. Give us a call, like I said, at 1-866-UTAH-HOPE. Or you can always go to our website at collectiverecoverycenter.com. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.